Well, now we focus on that comment. As a matter of fact, perhaps the comments from the SSG while he was announcing modalities for the national conference. Okay, I guess we'll play it in just a moment. But we're joined now by Issa Aremu, who is the Vice President of Nigeria Labour Congress. Morning, and thank you for coming on today. But listening to the SSG yesterday, while he was announcing modalities for that conference, Labour also features prominently in that conference as those who will participate and send in their members. You've seen that. Do you welcome that development? Or how do you think it will play out?
Yeah, well, it's, I don't know, let me put it this way, that apparently the discourse on the national conference, it seems to have gone through a lot of quality control, processes, if I want to put it that way. And you can see that the nomenclatures have really changed. Let's listen to him,
so that you just respond to it holistically.
The national conference shall hold in the Federal Capital Territory. C. The national conference shall tentatively last for 3 months and shall discuss any subject matter whatsoever except the indivisibility and indissolubility of Nigeria as a nation. This is to say that the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable. D. A conference management secretariat shall be established to manage, administer, and run the affairs of the conference. E. Decisions at the national conference shall be by consensus, but where it is not achievable, it shall be by 75% majority. F. The national conference shall advise the government on the legal framework, legal procedures, and options for integrating the decisions and outcomes of the national conference into the constitution and laws of the country. And finally, the national conference shall have a chairperson and a deputy chairperson. Both shall be of unimpeachable integrity.
Okay, some excerpts from that one, but when you look through, as we were talking, Labour will feature in this one.
Yeah, I mean, we're quite excited about Labour participation because, I mean, we are for inclusiveness, as the case may be, and I think if you see these lists, I think there is a complete departure from what the expectation used to be. I mean, before people are talking of conference of ethnic nationalities, that will have been extremely exclusive, but now you have the list that reflects all the strata of Nigerian society.
Is that what you mean by quality control?
And the point I'm raising here is that our critical support for this conference is based on the fact that increasingly it has gone through desired quality control. I say so, the nomenclature has changed, and I think now we are clear, it is the national conference. I mean, there was a lot of debate about whether it should be sovereign or not, and I think it is clear that the federal government has agreed that we have a constituted authority in place, the National Assembly, that so you can have parallel sovereignty. That would be that will not operate when let me also put it this way. Then the second important point, which is significant for me here, is that the issue of indivisibility and unity of Nigeria, because that has been the fear of the skeptics, and these skeptics, they are quite genuine. I'm very, very, very excited because the October 13th speech, first speech, I think 2013, when the president was inaugurating the preparatory committee, himself said so that he used to be part of the skeptics.
But on your first point.
So what I'm saying here is that I think the fact that the unity of the country is assumed and is given, for me, is significant for us as a nation.
But on that
because
first
it only formalizes the fact that Nigerians have been living together, so nobody's questioned that. The issue is how to deepen this unity
when you were talking
and
about
move towards for development.
When you were saying that the modalities will not go to the National Assembly and that is indeed the national conference, not a sovereign one. But earlier on, we got comments of people who were, they had written in saying, look, and then some of the recommendations that they read out was that they don't know yet what they will do with the outcome of the conference.
Yeah, well, again, we need to discuss, those are the issues that will be debated much more later. But, there are lots of reservations about this conference. People have said that, well, legitimately, some people have argued that we're not supposed to be a permanent debating society. We should be a functioning society. We had a series of conferences before. What would make this one different? We had OBJ Political Reform Conference. Before then, we had the Abacha Constitutional Conference. And we also had Constitutional Conference, also going on, very well by the National Assembly, in which we all participated. So these people have argued that this one conference too many. But that's academic now. It's a reality, and that we're already in it. But what excites me is that from the speech of the Secretary to Federal Government yesterday, you can see that the governments have demonstrated sensitivity, to all the controversies, the fear of the people, and they've taken a position that I think is far more all-inclusive for everybody. You have the national conference, people's conversation that will take place, and we can discuss all the issues, but we must keep the the Nigerian project on, which is clear. And above all, look at the list. It reflects all the strata of the country. Traditional rulers, you have labor,
Isn't this skewed?
If you also ask me, I thought in terms of proportional representation, we should have more slots.
For labor should have more slots.
Definitely.
Labor has, between itself and TUC, they have 24 slots.
I'm saying in relation to our number. You are talking of the working people of Nigeria.
No.
Organized labor has let me give you the figure so that you have an idea. Combined membership of both TUC and NLC, approximately close to 8 million. No, wait. So when you put the list of elder statesmen, this law they give them, well, the list, that's as the case may be. I thought we could have, but it doesn't really matter. The point I'm raising here is that
Chamberlain asked you a question which you haven't answered. He was asking if the composition is not skewed, because he's saying this based on what someone observed, and we've been looking at the list, and it looks more like politicians than any other Nigerian here. If you say 37 elder statesmen, 36, one from each state and one from Abuja, that is 37, and you go down and you also talk about one from each geopolitical zones, rather two from PDP, APC, APGA, Accord Party, and the Labour Party. They're talking about the political parties that have representatives in the National Assembly. You add that is 47 or so, and you now go down there. What you find is that they also went further to say former political office holders, one per geopolitical zone, that is 6. Another, former governors, 1 per geopolitical zone, that is 6. Senators Forum, House of Reps Forum, Association of Former Speakers, 1, and all that, and you total all of them, you just realize that you have almost 60 politicians here.
Yeah, I agree. And if you also, well, the devil's in the details. Maybe we'll never to go into this one now. But if you look at the total figure, that's the one that captures my imagination, 492. And I try to do the submission of the entire members of the National Assembly. I think this looks a little higher. 350 for the House of Reps. Is that so? Then 109, it's more or less parallel parliament. Only this one not elected. And people are asking, because the terms that have been given to this conference, as good as it is, I've told you my view in terms of preserving the unity of the country. And I ask myself, is that not what the National Assembly, all the issues they discuss every day, and people have also argued the cost of this in terms of times and resources.